Yo, 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 what is the word? What is the word? Here for another episode of The Corner. We finna get young Mila F in here. We finna get young Mila F in here. Hope everybody's doing well today, man. We're glad to have y'all back here. We was just here yesterday with Abe Hyde. Finna get Jay Mills in here. And we finna make it a good one. Hope everybody's doing all right. Mm-mm. Yes, sir. Yo, 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 yo. We live on IG. We live on IG and we live right here. So we're real glad to have everybody here. We should have Jamila joining us shortly on both platforms. It should be good. I'm not going to say too much about Mila F, but if you know anything about the DMV, if you know anything about college, you're gonna have a good time listening to Mila. Mila, you hear me on the on the stream joint?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Huh?
Your phone in your hand. That's funny. Yeah, 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 yeah. IG for me, so we can tap you in, so niggas don't be streaming on IG. I'm under Cowherd.
Yeah, that's funny.
There she go. There we go. Yes, sir. All right. Perfect with your logo on the top. Jay Mills, what's up, man?
What up? What up?
Branded up. I see that. That's pink for breast cancer.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, it is now. It is now.
It is pink for breast cancer. When I bought it, I was just like, I'm gonna pick like a color that I don't have a lot of in my closet because we offer multiple colors. So I was like, I'm gonna go with pink, and I didn't even put two and two together. So
it's all good.
breast cancer awareness.
But that's
Check
real
the
visionary
tea.
shit. Sometimes you don't know, you just do shit and it click like that. You know what I mean?
The alignment. It always works out. It always works out.
Major alignment. How you doing? What's we gonna kind of we'll shoot the shit for a little bit, see if some other people tap in.
Yeah.
What's been going on today?
I mean, working remote.
Yeah.
Work. A lot of work. I just got a new client with the Livingston Collaborative. So I've been like working on that, and then some of my like one of my old coworkers, well, she's my friend now, but we have like a collaborative together too. So it's kind of just a little bit of everything. Like when you put that I'm a serial entrepreneur, it's true. I was like, oh wow, like this bio is true. I am a serial entrepreneur. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what, man, it's let's go ahead and start this segment. I mean, I wanted to shoot the shit. Let's be recorded. So, let's really start from the top. You know, I mean, who you are and where you from, what you do, and then we'll segue into other things.
Right. So my name is Jamila Livingston. I am from Prince George's County, Maryland. Born in DC, raised in Prince George's County. I am a Spelman 2013 graduate. Um, I'm a serial entrepreneur, founder of the Everyday brand. Um, I have a meme page, Your Annoying Coworker, and I have my marketing company, the Livingston Collab. So I got a little bit of everything going on.
I I wore this shirt that seriously survived my corporate dropout shirt. Pardon
Oh
me.
yeah,
It's
Liddy.
it's a shirt made out of hemp.
What
What
up,
up, C?
Sierra?
What up, C?
Oh, and that's the Nana that just joined is the new client I was talking about. So look at her
Nana, what up?
already. What
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
Nana?
She pulled up. That's dope. That's dope. Literally just mentioned you.
Literally.
Um. So yeah, I mean, let's go ahead. I want to ask you. I know, but I don't think the people really know. Talk about every day and what kind of that. It's deeper than It's kind of. I know it's something behind us. Tell the people why every day and how you came on that.
Right. So initially, like when I was coming up with the name, the thought first came up because I was like, I want to wear sweatpants every day. Like, I was like, why do I have to come to work and wear business casual? And I literally was like, I'm going to start a sweatpants line that just says every day because why can't sweats be like professional? Like, this is lame. Like, I got to be dressed up just to say the same thing or whatever. So then, like, as the name, like, as I started thinking about the name, it was like going into like a motivational reminder or like an everyday reminder to like do something. When you do something every day, you never know what the result is going to be. And that's whether good or bad. You do something bad every day, like bad stuff is going to happen. If you do something good every day, then good things will happen. And so that's why one of the like hoodies says like set your intentions every day because you got to start the day with setting your intentions. Started with what do you want to get out of the day? Do you want happiness today? Do you want to dwell on negativity today? And you got to do that every day. If you're working on your craft or your passion, you got to work on it every day. Shit, brush your teeth every day, drink water every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a motivational reminder. And then I wanted it to complete a sentence. So whatever your passion is, followed by every day.
What is it? Brush. What I
Yeah, so that's the morning routine.
the morning
That's
routine. Tell the people.
that's the morning routine. So literally, and especially during like quarantine, it was just like I was like, that's my morning routine. Like I wake up, brush my teeth, and then like make my coffee, get the Keurig going, then wake and bake. And I was like, yeah, I was sitting with my homegirl actually. Shout out to Nisi. Shout out to Nisi and no, it's Shay. It's the black owned Shea Butter line in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was sitting with her and I was drinking my coffee and we were rolling up and I was like, I'm about to make a shirt and talk about my morning routine, like fresh brew blunt. I literally just said it and then I just made a graphic and put it on the shirt. Like
Nice like that.
literally, that's just how it happened. So
The hat
um,
hard too. Don't you got the mom, plant mom, and it's the. Oh, is that a concept? That's a concept.
yeah. So the plant mom is it's supposed to be talking about like
Yeah, yeah.
weed, of course, and I have a plant dad one. No discrimination. So, um, yeah. So that's literally just like
You gotta get it. You gotta get a plant person. Include them just in case I don't
I
identify.
know. I'm just like, yeah, plant person. Literally, that's probably what I need to do. Yeah, I do need to put plant person.
Motherfuckers be quick to be like, listen, that's right.
Right.
We got you. We didn't want to forget it. So cool.
Right.
I wanna. So we going to double back to every day. Because I think I want to talk more about setting intentions and how you do that as an entrepreneur in your day to day. But you are. Me and Aya talked about signs yesterday, so I'm gonna bring it up. We talked about signs yesterday. So you are a Virgo. Uh, probably through and through. Um, let's talk about your intentions on. All right, so if you don't know who Virgos are, I'm gonna name some Virgos in the world for anybody who doesn't know.
2 Chainz,
Huh?
Beyonce,
There you go. Dave
uh,
Chappelle,
Taraji, I
Michael
think is her
Jackson,
name. Michael Jackson.
Kobe.
Kobe is a Virgo, R.I.P.
Yes. So just to give you like the ghosts basically, you know what I mean, are that. Talk about your your ability to kind of know what you want, how you want it done, and how you kind of put intentions and put movements around that. Right now, you got like Living Still collaboration, which is your marketing. You have Everyday Brand, which is your more consumer leisurely. How did you make a decision to do a corporate dropout? You're like, listen, like let's kind of talk about those intentions right there.
Yeah. So for me, like I'm all about like just doing it. You know what I mean? Like
Shout out
it's
to
just
Nike. For those who don't know, that's a double entendre right there. That's a double. They don't know.
yeah,
We'll talk
yeah.
about Nike. We'll talk about Nike too. So
Yeah, we'll literally talk about Nike. My dog Nike, he's actually over there. Shout out to Nike. um, so yeah, like wait, so the question is basically just like how did I like
how do you
setting
set
those.
your intentions to get up
Yep.
out of corporate and do it for
Right.
Mila F?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, so one is about how I'm feeling in whatever position I'm in. Like if I'm going into work, into my 9 to 5, and I'm like not wanting to wake up, but then I'm waking up early on the weekend, or I'm working my 9 to 5 and I'm working on my side hustle at my 9 to 5, or I'm just like kind of over it. I'm saying to myself, like, this isn't for me. Like, I want to be happy to wake up. If I'm going to work for the rest of my life, then I should at least be happy when I wake up and go to work. So I'm like, I'm not happy waking up, going to this corporate job. I'm not happy, like, wearing business casual. I'm not happy, you
Being
know.
black in this space.
Yeah, I'm not happy sitting in a boardroom and one kind of looking younger than what people think I am. Like people think I'm like 16 sometimes or like 18. So like having to get over that hump of being black, being a woman, looking younger than you are, and you're sitting in a room with like, corporate white people who like that's their initial thought, like who is this person. And then I mean, to be completely honest, like I've fit into those rooms eventually once I like opened my mouth or once I did my work and they were like, oh, like she's not a dumb Negro, like, and then they start treating you nice and stuff like that. But you still deal with those like microaggressions and just the typical stuff that every black person has dealt with in the corporate world. And so again, like I said, like it was about doing it. Like it was about me saying, okay, I want to wear sweatpants every day. Okay, every day is going to be the name. What else does every day mean? All right, start an Instagram. Like just figure it out. Just do it. So I would just like start an Instagram. First, every day I was just like posting like black news and stuff like that. And I was like, eventually I'll do like apparel or stuff like that. So I was just like keeping the Instagram going with random content so that people would just like come to the page or follow me. And that was like while I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. Even the page like Your Annoying Coworker, which is literally just a meme page, that was just from clowning around with like my coworker at work, and again us being bored at work, and I'm being like, I'm about to start us an Instagram where we can actually just put this content on a page and people can just laugh at that, and we can make fun of the fact that we're in corporate America and we're literally clowning around, while we work with these like corporate white people. It's like we work with these people, but this is what we're really doing at work. Like we're clowning around and we're kind of making fun of that 9 to 5 life while still working a 9 to 5 life. So again, it's just about like doing it. With the Livingston collab, I have a biology degree from Spelman, but I wanted to get into marketing. So I've literally been on a marketing journey from like cold calls with sales to like brand ambassador work to marketing associate, specialist, and so on and so forth. And again, being in the corporate world, you're like making a set salary. And then sometimes the company may outsource certain people for stuff. So then we would like outsource a marketing company, and I'm submitting the invoice and I'm like, oh, we're paying this marketing company like my salary for like 6 months, and they're doing half-ass work, and essentially like I'm doing the work, like I'm working with the marketing team to do the work. And then what are we paying them like 50,000 because they're a company, and you just want to like pay a set salary to the employee, but you clearly have thousands more to give away. So it just wasn't making sense to me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to start my own company and, get clients. Say, like, I get 5 clients or something, and I can get like $10,000 with each client. It's like, boom, that's 50,000 right there. Get a couple more clients, and you're making, a decent salary for a person. And you're still doing it on your own terms, and then you can also get a team and just keep getting more clients and stuff like that. So it was really just like me opening my eyes to really just how bullshit a lot of the corporate world is, and just how bullshit the politics of, our things. And I don't want to make it seem like it was so simple, like, oh, I woke up and I started Instagram and now I have a business. Like, no, it's
Never.
right. It's never that. It's hard. It's a lot of like, dang, what am I going to do with every day? I stopped for like a year while I was working corporate, and I was like, I'm gonna get back to this. Like, it just took like one person to be like, oh, what happened every day? And I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm doing that. And taking the year off, this year, really these last I want to say like 3 months has been the best, like progress I've had with every day, just from taking like a year off. And I've been trying to do it for like 4 years or whatever. So it's been like 4 years coming to like figure out, okay, this is how I want to sell the shirts, or this is how I want to promote, what every day really is. And I'm still figuring it out. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work. And then with like the Livingston collab, um, like getting these clients, having to work with the clients, and then being like, oh shoot, I have clients now and I'm working a full time. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then realizing you need a team. It's so much that goes into it. But I mean, ultimately, to go back to the initial question of just like, me being a Virgo, I'm not like, in Kobe's like mentality, the Mamba mentality. You're like, there's literally nothing that can stop you, nothing at all, but yourself, really. So just do it, and just keep going, and just keep trying to be the best at it. And that's really what you got to do. You just got to
You have
do
a
it.
team right now, or you kind of have like homies that help you out, like figuring out how they can, or you have like a set team right now?
So I have a little bit of everything. So with every day, that's just been strictly me. And then like your annoying coworker, I use Ambria for the content and stuff like that, but like that's me posting and stuff like that. But with the Livingston collab, I'm partnering with my friend who was an old coworker with their business, Street Smart Collab. Shout out to Street Smart Collab, Kendra and Chloe. We're basically, we worked together as co-workers, and she was just like, and then when I left my job, she's like, we still need to work together. We have to. So she pretty much was just like, you're a creative director for Street Smart. And I'm just like, okay, like, and
Okay.
that's just how it went. But then as Street Smart is taking off, and then like the Livingston collab, as I was getting clients, we kind of were like, oh, our businesses are offering a little bit of different things, and then they kind of overlap. So, and we're collaboratives, which the purpose of calling it that is because I want to be able to work with anybody, and I want to be able to say, hey, this is my partner, or this is like, a person on my team. And so right now we're in the process of kind of not necessarily merging, but like figuring out how we can word it. Like we're collaboratives, and like Street Smart may offer, social media under the Livingston Collaborative or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're figuring out now. For the most part, I've been like solo dolo. Like I have like, well, I'm on the phone now. I have like 10 Instagram accounts like on my phone that I got to be like logging out of one and logging into another to like post and stuff like that. But me, Kendra, and Chloe are in the process of like figuring out how the Livingston collab and Street Smart collab can come together and still be like separate entities, but like offer what we need to offer together.
Living Street Smart.
Yeah.
Living Street Smart.
Street Smart living.
I want to say I had to dig this, don't look as good as when they first came out. But when J Mill says she motherfucking collab, this is the Still I Moisturize hat. It's a little done up, y'all. It's a little done up.
You've been wearing it. Nothing wrong with that.
But
yeah, I should have brought the camo jump. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nah, but Jamila and I collabed on a hat, Still I Moisturize, in honor of Maya Angelou. I have a clothing brand or a brand called You Ugly that's kind of focused on reminding you that there's beauty on the outside, but we all kind of have these internal things that we are scorned by, we don't always show. So kind of keep it humble because you ugly, no matter no matter how lit life gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just some ugliness in all of us. So
yeah. And that was like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to go back to that, right?
2 years ago.
So when you said you had taken, your time off every day, and people were like, "Yo, what happened?" Right? That happened. The same thing, like my pod. So my first 5 episodes happened in 2017, and at that time, life was life. And I just kind of had fallen off because it was kind of those things where I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can do this. Once I realized that I could do it, it was just kind of like, well, now what do I do with it to really make that thing? And I didn't know. So I swear, I don't know, man. I felt like for like 9 months, maybe over a year, people were like, yo, when's Cowherd's Corner coming back? Like, when we coming back? And it's just like that's not like it. I want to get back to it, but I can't find how do I make it work with where I'm at in my life right now.
Right. Whole time, I'm not gonna lie, when you started posting Cowherd's Corner, I thought you were posting like Throwback Thursdays. Like I didn't even know it was like right now. I was like, oh shit, like he just running back his old shit, like blah blah. Then I was like, oh snap, he brought it back. I dead ass didn't know. Yeah.
It's so the pandemic, right? Like the pandemic, it really like, I've been a corporate dropout for a while. Like it just didn't pan out for me. Like a lot of, basically the way I put it is that I was never really a code switcher. You feel me? So like the energy that's kind of
I just shouted them out.
There they go.
What up, Monty? Everybody I shout out end up popping up on there.
you got support, man. The streets, the street support J Mills, man. And that's the reason why I do this, right? I'm like, I tell like, yo, like I don't do this for me. Like people are gonna show up. People are gonna show up for like y'all. Like I told Abe last night before I was like, yo, like this is for y'all. Like, I'm trying to give y'all flowers. You know what I mean? Like I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Like I know what it's like to be trying to build a future that your parents don't recognize or like your friends don't recognize, and they have no way of helping you. And I feel like people don't even know how to be encouraging. Like there's a way to be encouraging, and there's a way to kind of let somebody know, like, I see you want to do something, but like maybe you should look at it differently, right? It's just like people would rather not say nothing or just shit on you. And it's like, yo, you got to be able to find a balance. We hella grown. You feel me? Like niggas is really out here making paths that have not been made before.
Absolutely.
So I say all that to say, I'm glad that I was able to bring Cowherd's Corner back in the pandemic forced me, because I didn't want to feel like, like early in the pandemic, it was a kind of like a lot of conversation around don't take this time and not do nothing. But then like, yo, what the fuck is you talking about? Sit back, relax. Like this is a fucked up time. Like it depends on your
situation. That's when you thought we was gonna be in the house for 3 months, and then it was like 4, 5, 6. It's like, hold up, yo.
Fall back. So I was just like, listen, I had enough time off. I need to get back into like a bag, and it was easy for me to reach out to the homies that are doing dope shit. Set up my phone, set up a laptop. Yo, let's have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's let other people be fly on the walls to our everyday conversations. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so all right, bet. So let's talk a little bit about post school. Let's talk about the corporate world. You had a couple gigs. So we graduate May 2013. You probably got in from the strip club at about 6 a.m. and headed to graduation. Right. Yeah. Or maybe touch Waffle
Something
House.
like that. Yeah. We did
Uh,
from the club. Yeah.
Graduation is at 2 p.m. for y'all. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Something like that. So by 4 o'clock, you in alone.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens? What
A
happens?
Spelman woman.
Spelman woman.
A
Spelman woman.
Spelman
Absolutely yes. So Spelman woman.
woman.
What happens? What happens after that? Tell us a little bit about what happened after you became a Spelman woman and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you can speak to that too. Just, I mean, really anyone at Spelman and Morehouse. It was like, what are you doing after graduation? What are you doing after graduation? What are you doing after graduation? And I'm like, chill, like relax. And when I look back on that, I'm just like, my child, I'm never gonna, they're not gonna be a bum, but I'm like, chill out. Like, that's a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. Like, it was a lot of what are you about to do? What are you about to do? And I'm like, I'm trying to graduate and take this 10.5 hour drive back to my mama's basement and I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Love
um
that.
I did I had like an interview. I had some interviews back home that I was like, I'm interviewing for some places, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So that shut a few people up. But mind you, my maternal side of the family is Jamaican, and they're like bougie Jamaicans that are like, oh, she's gonna be a dentist because I had my biology degree. And junior year though, I switched. Like I didn't want to do be a dentist. I took the DAT. I was in a dental program at Columbia, like living in New York for over a month. Like I did like all the things to do to
Yeah.
be a dentist. And I was
Set
like,
the
I don't want
facade
to
up
do
real well. You set the facade up real well.
yeah, like I did everything. I had a little white coat ceremony, like I did it all. So
That's when you had the bangs, yo. That's when you had the bangs.
when the bayang, we're not going to talk about the bayang. We ain't going to talk. We're not even going to talk
I
about
know
that.
you
But
got a bang pick. I know you got one.
I think that was gone by senior year.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah.
I started wearing weaves and stuff. Now I'm all natural. But
All natural.
so for me, it was a little different because like again, like I set up the whole like I'm going to be a dentist, and then I was just like I don't want to do this. So it was like explaining all of that. So I get home, interview. I start working this one job that was like it was like one of those jobs where they like tell you what you're gonna do in the interview, but it's like you're just leave like it's something you're not telling me.
Yeah.
And then you end up selling like Verizon Fios from door to door and stuff like that. So that was like 2 weeks, and then I got my actual corporate salary job, and that's when I was doing like cold calling at coincidentally enough a marketing software company. So it was a decent gig, honestly. Like I was making enough at that time. I felt like I was rich, and
Yeah.
and like I'm still cool with like my coworkers from way back then and stuff like that. But I'm like coming in, and again, it's this like bald ass white man trying to tell me that I need to make 60 calls a day, and I'm just like,
fuck out of here.
like, and then a lot of times in the situations I've been in, like my boss has like seen my potential and been like, you can go so much harder. Like I know you're smart, so it's like if I made 55 calls a day, it's like I know you could have made 75 because you're smart. And like on some like weirdo shit, like we like switched offices, and he's like, I wanted your desk right by mine because I believe in you. And I'm like,
No, that's not motivation for me at all. Like
it was just like
you bother me. Yeah. You know what you're doing. You keeping tabs, nigga. Exactly. Fuck out of here.
Like we take all the credit. does good, then you look good. So he's like, oh, like let me. I'm like, bruh, I actually don't like this. I don't like these cold calls. I'm getting hung up on. Right. And then you have that one like coworker that's taking it so serious, and you're like, hey, like during the call blitz, we could have gone harder. And I'm like, yo,
chill out. So chill out.
One day, it was like three of us, me and three of my coworkers, they were like, hey, if y'all don't make like 70 calls a day, like, you know, we're gonna have to put you on the performance improvement plan on the PIP, blah blah blah. Like, I'm like, why would y'all have to do that? Like, just so you can say that I made 75 calls, even if I'm not getting like the demos that we're supposed to be getting.
They just want the calls.
Yeah, you just want the calls. So one time I made like 50 calls, but I had like a demo. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I did what I was. It's better than 75
and no demo.
I did like 50 in a demo. So the boss like sent an email, and he like CC'd the other boss on it, and he's like, Jamila, you did great, but I know that you could have, you know, done better, and I really want you to have blah blah blah. Like, he was again talking about having these calls. So I was like, can we have a meeting?
Right.
And we had a meeting, and I was like, today is going to be my last day here. And I was just like, I don't know why you would send me that email when you saw I got a demo. And like, at this point, you're like on my dick. Yeah, like, you're on my dick in the name of you're so smart. Nothing. But at this point, you're just pressuring me. Like, if I'm so smart, promote me then, so I'm not cold calling these niggas.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
So I was
which one is it?
Huh?
Like, which one is it? Am I smart or am I not doing the job? Like,
I'm just like, it was just trash. And I'm like, what do you? I'm like, so literally, me and then two other people ended up leaving that day, and of course, he ended up looking crazy.
Had to.
Like 3 or 4 people from your team, because we were like, yo, you're doing way too much. Like, you're doing way too much. So, you know, at that time, I was still like I was living with my mom. So I called her. I was like, Mommy, I just quit my job. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's just not right. Like, and for me, like, I think at the time I didn't really understand, but it was just like I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, what? Like, why is this white man on my dick telling me to make calls? Why are you telling me to make calls? Nigga, like, no. So
because he had to do it was just as miserable as you was.
Exactly.
That's why.
That pressure on you.
That's why.
Like, I was just like, I'm not a cold caller.
Right.
Like, no. So I dropped that, and that's how I got into the brand ambassador industry, because I was like, yo, if I'm not where I'm if I'm not getting this check every, 2 weeks, like, what am I going to do? I ended up working like a brand ambassador event for like BET when like Being Mary Jane was coming out.
Okay.
And literally, like, I got paid hourly for the event, like what my like salary was. It was hourly. But during the whole event, I literally just like took pictures of people and was like laughing with people. Like, it was just so simple. So that's how I started doing brand ambassador work full time. I was setting my schedule. I was working for all these random brands like Netflix, Google. I was like putting my friends onto it. So it was literally like, it'll be like an event with like me and like 4 of my friends, and we're like working an event for like Google or something like that, and we're just like, having fun. And then once I started working the brand ambassador industry, it became a point where I was like, I would like be getting like a check every week for different stuff. I was setting my schedule, like I said, so I was traveling and doing what I wanted to. And that's when I started really getting introduced to marketing, like event marketing, experiential marketing, and just the fun stuff. So, what did I do after that?
So what year were we in? We in like 2015, 2020?
Yeah, we're like 2014, 2015. Moved to Atlanta, was working a corporate gig.
That's right. Yeah. I missed the birthday party.
Yeah, and it was still just like, it's just repetitive. It's the same thing. It'll be like a year working in the same position for a year, and after a while, you just feel uncomfortable again. white men telling you what to do. Like I got promoted and everything, and it's like as you get promoted, you start getting closer to the white people that are then telling you more what to do. I'm like, I don't
bang with that.
I don't like white people telling me what to do. Like over and over every day. Like every day. White people telling me what to do every day.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I wanted that. So then I moved back to DC again, was working. It was startup vibe, but still corporate. The only reason I survived at this job for almost 3 years was because we ended up not having a head of office.
Oh, I popped into. I'm not. We don't gotta say who it was, but I popped in. I popped into this location, right? Me, George.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What they gonna do? Cater to me. I worked with them, so I got through that one because we didn't have a head of office like in DC, so it was like a lot more chill. I could do what I wanted on my own time. Again, didn't have a boss, but I was still like killing the game,
getting your work
like,
done,
doing whatever. Then starting Your Annoying Coworker, having fun, like having team events and stuff like that. So it was real chill, and it was a lot of fun personally. But again, my bosses were like two white men who probably voted for Trump. You know, they slighting you with the raises, but you got me ordering the business cards, running the LinkedIn, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram. You got me doing all of this. And then when it's time for my raise, you then want me to give you a Google Doc of what
you've done. Oh my God, son.
Like,
yo.
The Google Doc is the business card that your employees have that I ordered. The Google Doc is your Twitter and your Instagram and your Facebook and your LinkedIn and the fact that they're running. Like, don't fucking act stupid and ask me, what have I done to get my raise?
You got to be like, bitch, what do you have? Oh, unmute your unmute your. Oh, my fault. Unmute your mic on the John, but just mute your laptop. This whole time, I don't think the live stream been catching your audio. It look like your.
Oh my gosh.
Your mic.
I never muted it though. I think something popped up.
Cannot. Oh, it says their mic isn't connected. Okay, don't even worry about it. We here on IG.
Dang. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. But yeah, no, it's tripping now because now it's not even showing. Maybe I need a refresh.
I'm gonna do the same.
Got a smart Negro. They gonna want money, so no, we gotta hold them back with the money. Like I'm just like, what the fuck? And I know y'all are getting money. Like I know y'all are getting
like
money.
Yeah.
So it's just no excuse. Like 9 times out of 10, like the stingiest ones, the stingiest bosses are the ones that are actually just rich as fuck. And I'm just like,
I'm trying to keep it that way.
I'm like. And then you see exactly, and then it's like then you have access to like certain financial reports and things like that, and then you're just like looking at like what other people are getting paid and like what money is going into this and so on and so forth. Like even the business cards, like people were lasting there like up to 6 months. So I'm spending like 20 each time we get a new employee. Not me, but you're spending that, and you bringing in all these employees.
The niggas just turn over.
And I'm just ordering business cards, and people not even using the business cards because they ended up leaving the company. I don't think this StreamYard is working for me.
Okay, we all good. That's why I be. That's why I be doubling up with the options.
Yeah. So,
there you go. Device is not connected. All right. your guests will need to connect their mic before. All right, they're doing too much.
But yeah, so that's how like that almost 3-year tenure with Cater to Me ended, and that was like the longest time I worked in a place. And again, it was only because I didn't have a white man breathing under my neck telling me what to do every day. But he was distant. The white man was distant, and he was so that was close enough for me to be like, I don't want to be that white man. So I had to keep it pushing. So then
like that.
I ended up working for a company where my bosses were, like my team and my bosses were Black women. So I was like, it just felt so great to be in an interview and literally tell them like, yeah, like, I want to work here because I see you up here. And so if I'm right here and you're up there, I know like I can get up here like with you. And like being able to be just like super upfront in the meeting and like use the word like Black and be like, you're a Black woman and you're in a position of power, so I want to, that's why I want to work here, blah blah blah. But as usual, it's just always some shit.
It's and always so some shit.
We eventually ended up like we were merging with a bigger hospital. It was like a hospital. We were merging with a bigger hospital. And so we're merging with the hospital. We start having meetings. I start meeting my bosses. So my bosses went from 2 Black women to like 3 white women and a white man. And then I'm like in the new meetings, and they're like in the meetings like it's like 20 of us, and it's like 10 white girls. It's like, okay, Katie, what do you have for us today? Okay, in media, we have this. All right, Emily. And I'm going to say Emily because my friend Emily joined. So I'll be like, all right, Emily, what do you have for us today? It's like, in the finances, we have, and I'm just like, I'm back at it.
I'm back at it again.
I was just having 2 bosses that were Black women. I could crack jokes, you know what I mean? Like, say certain things in the office that I couldn't say. But as we were merging with a bigger hospital, and it just started becoming real whitewashed again. And I was like, I know what this game is. I'm gonna be a whatever they say, like a fly in a milk bucket or whatever.
I don't know that one.
I'm gonna just be in the same thing again, and it just didn't feel right. But honestly, also with the merger, it was in the middle of the pandemic, and they were like, oh, we got to onboard y'all, so y'all got to go to two different locations, one for like a physical and one for a drug test. And I'm like, mind you, this is like June. I'm like, we got to go to the doctor in the middle of COVID when we're supposed to be quarantining. Like,
shit, me.
I'm like, y'all want some janky stuff. So mind you, we weren't even working at the hospital. We were working remotely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, at this point, y'all just want to be in my business. Like, y'all want to know what I got going on over here. So y'all want me to have a physical to onboard me just so I can take my ass back home? Like, nah.
It don't make sense.
I wasn't fucking with it. Mind you, they're like, if you have a problem with this, let us know. I'm like, yeah, I have a problem with the fact that y'all want me to go to 2 medical facilities that are also COVID testing sites, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm quarantining. I hadn't left the house for real yet, so I'm just like, y'all want some wild shit. And then of course they were like, yeah, they probably like want to weed people out. And
absolutely.
I'm like, you know what?
I'll weed myself
out. Maybe I need to get weeded out. Maybe I need to get weeded out. Maybe I need to give them what they want.
And no pun intended.
Like, no pun intended. Wow. Maybe I need to get weeded out though. So, but no, on some real stuff, I just wasn't feeling it. It just felt like it was one of those loopholes that they always try to give you when.
Always exploit. Always.
Yeah, it's just like, so like cannabis is legal in DC. Like you can smoke it recreationally. You can grow it in your house. You can gift it to people, not sell if you're not a medical facility. But so you're telling me that legally I can do whatever the fuck I want, but because y'all are on some,
they might be federal. They might take federal bread. So if they take federal funding, they got to go by. Yeah.
Exactly. But y'all, have to go by this just because of whatever the fuck.
Right.
I'm like,
miss me with it. Yeah.
I'm
honestly.
Like, that's lame.
Yeah.
So, I consumed the day of, well, midnight,
Oh yeah.
and I was weeded out, literally. So the crazy thing about it, and the thing again, like going back to how I said, it's always like I go off of how I feel. Like if I'm really like, damn, this situation really does seem shady, and I'm just like, nah, it's stuff on the other side of this. Like I'm not fucking with it. Like, and a lot of times people like to talk about, taking those risks, or like it's always a great story after the fact. But like while you're dealing with it, you have people like, damn, like you're gonna fail a drug test. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like,
Right.
what do you mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like I've read like, Charlemagne the God, like his books and stuff like that, and I really like apply the things that I read. And, he's on the Breakfast Club, and people might think he's a dick or he's that, but he's told his story just about the wild stuff he's done that got him to that position, about him getting like fired like 3, 5 times, whatever. So, at this point, it's not that I would get fired because I didn't do the work. Like I was already in the merger, you know what I mean? Like it was literally a decision that I had to make and decide, like, am I really feeling this? And I wasn't. I wasn't feeling it at all. And I'm glad I wasn't feeling it, because that took me to where I am now, where I was literally, and I couldn't get a raise or a promotion because of COVID. And obviously we're in the healthcare industry, so the hospital was like losing millions a day because they couldn't take certain patients, stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Like this is not. Yeah.
I can't get my raise.
And you straying further away from, you know what I mean, kind of like you said, what exactly.
Exactly. So, and I'm like, it doesn't matter like what it looks like. Okay, like now I'm working for this like prestigious hospital, but I'm like miserable as fuck. And again, like what at what cost? At the cost of like somewhat to me like an invasion of privacy again, or really like not having a choice. Like you're like, oh, we're merging. You have to go do this in the middle of a pandemic where it's, oh my God, everybody's dying. Like stay in the house or wear your mask. But yet y'all are a hospital and y'all are saying like we have to do this. Shit wasn't adding up
right.
to me.
Yeah.
The math wasn't adding up to me.
The math wasn't mathing.
It wasn't mathing.
It wasn't mathing.
So,
not at all.
So then I was unemployed for like 3 months. For like just 3 months, mind you. so they didn't even want to put down, that I was weeded out. I like using that term now. They were like, like they were themselves like, damn, like this is fucked up, but like we have to do this. And I'm just like, yeah, like I'm about to show y'all how y'all's stupid rules will have y'all lose somebody who's really doing all the shit for y'all. Like, you know what I mean? And I mean, even now, like the stuff that I did, no one is doing. So I was just like, aha, like
stupid.
But even like during that time on some real shit, like unemployment was booming in DC. Niggas was making bread off unemployment. I was chilling.
Yeah.
I was chilling. They bring you that shit every week. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I figured out what I needed to do with every day. Like during that 3 months was the time I was like, oh, bet. Like, let me get back to picking up every day. How am I going to do this? So it wasn't like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm going to be lazy. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
Because I've been in positions where you might be in between employment or, like, whatever circumstances have you. And when you look back, you're like, dang, when I was unemployed, I literally had all this time. And now when I'm working my full time, I'm also working on my side hustle.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I'm not working my full time. Let me go super hard with my side hustle right now and like figure some shit out. So I went super hard with every day, and like that really like, helped the vision and helped me like take things off and like really, get things going. I was able, like I had time to like meet up with people. I was like meeting up with people and doing what I wanted, but then it was like, oh, my boss might call, and I'm like, oh shit, like, well, you know what I mean? So I'm meeting up with people. Shout out to George. He was the one that was telling me, like, just put it on a t-shirt, like, set your intentions and stuff like that. First he said intentions, and I was like, no, I want to say set your intentions every day. So the time that I took off, I was spending time with people. I was vibing with people, collabing with people. That's when I started the Livingston collab. That's when, Ambria, the other half of your annoying coworker, she started her cleaning business, Bradshaw Cleaning Co., and she became my first client and stuff like that. So at this point, I've like officially sold like my real merch. Like I've done like
let me get a year.
But like I got like this on the like tag.
Oh,
like
you
that.
out here.
Right. So
can we get some likes? If you watching, I need this, I need you to like. I need some hearts, some love, man. Drop J Mill some loves. Hit them hearts, man.
Yeah. So I was like, when I saw this like on the shirt, like I literally like they had just sent like a picture of the label or whatever, and I literally was telling my friends, I was like, I really don't ever have to sell a shirt. Like seeing this on the label just said to me, like, dang, like you finally got it on the label because shit be seeming so hard until you do it, and I just had to like sit down and be like, how the fuck can I sell this shit, or like what am I really doing, or what am I trying to say? Mm-hmm. So in that last like that 3-month break was like my best time for my side hustles. So again, like Ambria became my client, mind you. In 2018, when Ambria and I were working together doing Your Annoying Coworker, we were just talking about. We were like working side hustles. We were working for the Redskins, the Washington football team. We were working events. Like I put her on brand ambassador stuff because she was new to DC, and she was just like, "Yeah, I want a cleaning business, and like you can do my marketing and blah blah blah." So we would talk about it, and I was just like, "Oh shit! Like I'm really doing what I wanted to do. Like I have my label, and I have like my first client, and I have like a name." And Ambria was like, "You need to put Livingston in a company name." She's like, "It sounds rich," and I'm like, "Yeah, there are a lot of Livingston stuff." So I'm like, the Livingston.
I'm like, we both got slave knit last names.
Yeah.
Such is life. Yeah. Such is life. So I want to say, I'm kind of saying three things, but they tie into one. First, I want to commend you for your focus and your consistency. I think that is where a lot of us don't excel. It's this repetition, right? Whether it's repetition of design, whether it's repetition of revenue, whether it's repetition of failure, whether it's repetition of customer acquisition, right? There's this repetition, focus, and consistency of entrepreneurship that is fucking draining, and it is probably one of the worst roller coasters to ever experience. And I'm gonna go down a sidebar real quick, but long story short, I was talking on stage probably back in 2015 or 2016, and I watched that video, and I'm like talking to the crowd. But when I listen back to it now and I think about what happened after those words I said, it's like, damn, was I talking to myself? You know what I mean? And it's just so crazy how you can hear something once you're out of it and be like, damn, like, yeah, you were saying some shit and feeling some shit. And it just kind of for you. It was for me. And it was for me. You feel me? And the last thing is, they say $100 in your system is worth more than $1,000 in another man's system. So again, I want to double back to you. I'm sure what it felt like to see like a sale, right? Whether it was $20, $30, $40. Like, yo, this is my bread. Yeah. I made this bread not because I had to make mad calls. I made this bread because I set my intentions on a design, on a customer, on an idea, on a feeling, on an essence, on a whatever. And here's the physical manifestation, that tangible manifestation, which is cash. You feel me? So I too have been, I didn't quit none of my jobs. Once I found out if you quit, you don't collect unemployment, you got to fire me straight up. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I done been fired from all my jobs, and it wasn't because I was incompetent. You know what I mean? It was because you're not going to talk to me like I'm not a man. You're not going to talk to me like I'm not human. I don't like corporate America. For those who have not had the pleasure of doing that, there's this passive aggressiveness that happens within that workspace where people will talk to you like they want the best for you, but their intentions are to either make you feel comfortable like you're doing well when you're really not, or they just want to catch you. They want you to turn into the angry black woman or the angry black man. Like they want to do something to give them a reason to keep that tab and that tally on you to get you out of there. And I think it's beautiful that you have representation, because I feel as though had I had someone, what I mean, that was black at certain levels, they would have like, yo, my man, you wilding, or let me mentor you, right? Like if I was white, I done been a lot. Listen, if I was a white dude, I feel like I've been around a lot of white men who are like probably solid, and what I know they're solid in what they do, but like nobody about to take a black dude, a young black kid under they wing necessarily, right? And kind of show them the, not to make excuses. I'm still holding myself accountable, but the reality of it is representation matters for that reason.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. And people don't understand a lot of times, like when people are trying to explain, like, oh, this shit happened at work. It's like it's heightened so much. Like when you're in that situation, like you can come home and complain and be like, so and so ate spaghetti for lunch today, and it's like you don't understand though why Kathy eating that spaghetti was like me to my yeah. when you're in that corporate world, like and shit is not sitting well with you. It's like I can't fully explain to you why I can no longer be in this environment.
It's really like a relationship. It's like your partner used to do something that didn't really bother you. You feel me? But now they do it. And it's like, yo, I am not in that same space of being okay with you doing that or letting that shit slide, or like it's like, nah, this is the end of my road.
Yeah, it's like a point where you're just like, this ain't it. Like this ain't it. Kathy's eating spaghetti again.
Jake over there talking about some bullshit that like we told him that we asked him to stop talking about. Like, stop talking about this.
We're in the same polo again. We're the same polo every Wednesday. I'm sick of it, but yet you want to comment on other shit. It just be dumb shit. You just be like,
and don't get us started.
Why? You start feeling like, why am I mad that she's eating spaghetti? Like, why am I so invested in this corporate world? Like, it becomes like you really start to become a different person, and it's really insane. But that just reminded me when you were just talking about like a white man like reaching back to a black person. So my last job, the CEO, we used to work in the same office. Like he worked down the hall from me, so we were cool. Like he'd be filling up his water bottle, and I'm like, "What up, doctor? So and so, blah blah blah." So when I ended up leaving that job, he actually emailed my old boss and asked her to get in touch with me for like a position at his wife's like company or whatever. That's all. So for me, that like sealed the deal that I made the right decision, because I knew that they knew that the like the reason behind it was really fucked up, and they knew that I was a good enough person where you're like, damn, I don't even care though that she got weeded out. Like she was good.
Yeah, so, she get the goddamn job done.
Right, like try to really get her in this company or whatever, and it was like same industry healthcare stuff, but I was just like, no, like I know y'all trying to suck me down that same path. Like, no, I'm not doing it. So yeah, like go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this. So I can't remember the exact tweet, but you remember Pilar Tucker from Spelman College? She was maybe 2014 or 15. Anyway, sure. she tweeted something. It was basically just about like what do you do when like something continues to happen over and over again? It was something about like lessons, right? I don't remember exactly what it was, but essentially I feel like you and I have continued to kind of take on these lessons, right? Like I feel like we're like, I know I hate corporate America, but I need a job, I need insurance, I need bread, right? So we find ourselves back into these for maybe like 6 months, 8 months, it's kind of like cool, I'm getting a check again. But then that thing happens, and it's like that reminder. Here come that lesson. It'd be that one thing. So I'm at the point.
We always end up like connecting right when that thing is happening. Like from like 2015 on down, it'll be like we'll be like very distant. It'll be like, yo, what up, Bills? I'm like, nigga, how you know? That's my job. Like, what do you do? Oh yeah, it'll be like that same thing. Like it's crazy, but it's definitely been like a 5-year journey of like, oh, we tried it again. Oh no, yeah, I'm doing this startup.
Exactly. Yo, every time. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find it. She tweets so much, but I don't like bringing up something and not being able to quote it accordingly. Let me see if I can find it before I let you go.
But no, I mean, I didn't even get into the black and cannabis. But I just will say now, I'm a marketing manager of a dispensary. So
we can stay on, J Mill. Listen, this is your episode, my nigga. We could go until we stop. This is your episode.
I'll just talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead, yeah.
So, I can tie it all in a bow. Basically, left the last job or was fired from the last job.
Hold on real quick. So Instagram got a countdown on me. So it's going, let's end it. I'm gonna start a new one right back up.
Okay, what's the countdown saying?
A minute, because you only go for an hour.
Oh.
So we about to do a part. We about to do a part 2. So anybody that's in here, we're gonna come right back. We're gonna come right back. I'm gonna end this one.
Wait. Mm-hmm. How about we maybe do a part 2?
Okay.
Later.
All right. Yeah, we could run a part 2 for sure.
Yeah, because and then it could just be about
cannabis.
That could be about the black cannabis and things like that. Because I don't even want to rush that part, and we end up staying on there for like another 30.
Okay, fair.
Like that, so.
How do people can keep in touch with you and drop your how to keep in touch?
Should I type it or just say it? Make sure y'all follow me on the gram at Mila F. And at your annoying coworker so you can laugh at funny shit working a 9 to 5. And follow me at every_day brand and cop a shirt, a hoodie or something. Y'all don't be faking. Cop a hoodie. Oh shit, the countdown is happening. Follow me on all those pages. Y'all know where to find me. Y'all know who I am. What up,
Kyra? Hey man, check Cowherd's Corner. Check Cowherd's Corner. She tagged in everything. Shout out to that man TK, best photographer in Brooklyn. You feel me? J Mills, it's been real. Thank y'all for putting up the Cowherd's Corner. We're gonna be back next Monday and next Wednesday with 2 great episodes. Talk to y'all soon. Oh, always forget that I be broadcasting up here too. All right, y'all. Holla.